It's your lovely goddess GaiYah speaking. Peace, everyone. I speak that you all are feeling wonderful and having a lovely day. It is your girl GaiYah, and I am here. GaiYah Speaks Healing. So we are here today to speak some healing into each and every soul that walks this earth, GaiYah's earth. So today, what are we going to talk about? Today what I want to talk about is something that keep coming to me. I am learning a lot about dealing with the ego self. As you all know, there are different parts to who we are. And the ego self is a part of us that can keep us trapped. It can keep us stuck. It can keep us weighed down, like feeling heavy. It can have us in self-doubt, going against our own self. It can have us playing tug of war with our own self in our mind. So what made me want to make this video, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag the gentleman in this video who inspired me to create this video about the ego. But there's something that he always say in his video. He also does mentoring and coaching as well. But there's something that he always say in his video, and it just sticks with me when he say it. And he say, the ego is not our friend. Now, the ego is not our friend, right? So we're taught that the ego is something bad. The ego is something that is against us all the time and everything, I heard one young lady say before that the ego is set up to try to protect us. So when it seemed like the ego is against us, really what the ego is attempting to do is to protect us. So for instance, you get in a relationship with a man and your ego is jumping in the way and you are afraid to trust him or whatever the case may be. Your ego could be taken over because you may have experienced a heartbreak before. So now your ego is protecting you. So it's giving you all these negative things about him, making you see him in his negative light. It's giving you all these negative things about him, so you will put your guard up and not be hurt. That's the ego. So when he said that, what came to me, I'm driving, I'm like, wait a minute. No, that can't be so, because everything is in divine alignment. Life is designed to work for us. Everything is happening for our greater good. So if everything is happening for our greater good, some way, somehow, we must learn how to make the ego our best friend. So what came to me is that uniting with the ego and becoming best friends with the ego and developing a relationship with the ego, so that you and the ego have a greater understanding of each other, or inner and overstanding of each other. So that your ego know that you're in control of the ship. Because you are the master, you are the soul, you are the leader, you are the head honcho. So it's your responsibility to let the ego know who's in charge and what we're doing and how we're doing it and why we're doing it. It's you who have to inform the ego. So we can allow the ego to be the ruler over us, which stunts our growth and stop us from doing things in life. It will put us in a state of fear, like I say, because once again, it's trying to protect you. Another example is me, for instance. Say I want to speak to the people. Ego like, but you don't know what to say. You don't got nothing to talk about. What if they don't receive it? What if you go all the way over their head? So the ego will give me every scenario that there is, so that I don't make the video to put the message out there. Now, is that a bad thing or a good thing? Is the ego my friend or my best friend? Or not my friend, or is it being my best friend? You know, so what the ego is doing is attempting to protect me from rejection. It's attempting to protect me from being hurt. So it's going to give me all these scenarios of why I should not do what it is that my soul, my higher self is telling me to do. You know, so when I listen to the soul and I go forward anyway, I push through the ego and I move forward anyway, all doors open because the higher self is now in control. The ego is the lower self and it wants to run the show. Another example, your higher self is calling you to fast, to eat clean, to change your diet, to let meat go, to do this, to do that. You keep saying, oh, I want to eat healthier. I want to work out. Oh, I want to try this vegan thing. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. A part of you keep telling you that, and you keep telling yourself, and you keep telling everybody else, but you ain't never doing it. Because the ego is now in control. See, the ego is habitual. It does what it's used to doing. So if you've been eating meat all your life, if you've been eating Debbie cake all the time, it's such an easy habit to go in the store and pick up junk, to go through a fast food line and order something that you tell yourself you're going to stop eating because you want to eat healthy. It's a habit. So to break that habit, you have to be in your higher consciousness. You have to be aware of what you're doing, aware of yourself. See, the ego is like it's unaware. It's just a habit. You keep doing the same thing over and over again. Like you driving your car without thought. You're just driving the vehicle, but you're not thinking about it. You're not conscious that your foot is on the gas. You slightly turning your steering wheel at 45 degrees, or you're doing this, or you know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about that. The ego, the body has been trained to do that. So it comes naturally. You know? So to break that cycle of allowing the ego to constantly be in control is for you to become more self-aware of yourself. To be in that higher consciousness. To listen to that higher voice. So you have to start a little bit at a time breaking these habits. So if something within you say, let's drink water today, we're going to put this soda down, then you go against the ego and you drink the water. That's listening to the higher self. So it's like now, okay, like in school, you get a sticker for being good or for doing something good. So, okay, now you get a cool point for listening to your higher self. It's like you get some soul power. The higher self tell you, let's get up and go work out. The ego like, nah, let's lay in the bed. This is what we do every morning. Why are you trying to break our routine? You see what I'm saying? So you get up and you work out, right? You shut that ego down. You push through and you get up and you go work out. So now you gain another cool point. You give your soul some power. All right? The soul tell you to get out of this relationship. It's time to let go. The ego like, no, but he's a good guy. But he's this, but he's that. Or he does this and he does that, but I like the way he do this and I like the way he do that. But your soul is calling you to something higher. See what I'm saying? So you bounce out of that relationship. So now the soul can move and work and do what it need to do, how it need to do. So guess what you just did? Gave yourself another brownie point. You just gave yourself some more soul power. But every time you go against your soul, your higher self, and you listen to that ego, every time you give in to that ego, you make the ego bigger and bigger and bigger. So where the ego overpower your life. So now you stuck like living in your lower self. But you ain't stuck. Now you can always come out of it. But you can reach a point in your life, certain things in your life, you feel like you stuck, like I can't move through. I can't push forward. I can't do this. I can't do that. Why this being blocked? Why this happening? Why that happening? Why this not going through? Because you not moving through. You not living true. You not living to your higher self. You not listening to your higher self. You not moving into what you being called to move into. So you begin living as the ego live, in the lower state of being. You know? So, I will not agree and say that the ego is not our friend. The ego is our friend who is not wise. You know? The ego is our friend who is not wise. The ego is our best friend. So it's learning to have that great relationship with your higher self and your lower self, and you two uniting and becoming one, because we need each other. We need each other. You know? So build a healthy relationship with your ego. Communicate with your ego and tell your ego, this is what we're doing today. And we're sticking with this today. And we're going left. Okay? We're going to go this way. And it's okay. I'm okay. Tell your ego, I'm going to be okay. Because you are trusting your higher self. You are aware of your higher self. Your higher consciousness. So you can let your ego know, it's okay if I go this way. It's okay if I make this move. It's okay if I engage with this person. It's okay if I do this. You don't have to protect me in this moment. You don't have to be afraid in this moment. All right? So I hope that makes sense to someone out there. And remember, life is not happening to us, it's happening for us. And if everything is in divine alignment, if everything is in divine timing, then our ego serves a purpose. We must learn the ego. We must learn how to operate it. We must learn how to grow with it and work with it and utilize it. Just like everything else, it's a tool. It's a tool. Without the ego, I would not be able to be here right now to deliver this message to you. You know, this body, this vessel, this temple, it is needed for me to carry out divine messages. For me to reach those that I am to reach. For me to help those that I am to help. You know, so all of us serve a purpose. You know, we are whole. We are one. You know, so don't be against your ego. Don't be against the ego self. You know, this is the new lesson that I've learned. And I hope that I speak, that I don't hope I speak, that it resonates with many. You know, I speak that it resonates with you. I speak that you're able to receive something from this video. And if you do, please comment. Let's communicate. That's an exchange of energy. You can also communicate with me by liking this video. You can also communicate with me by disliking this video. You can also communicate with me by sharing this video, by sharing my channel. You know? So we work together. We heal together. We grow together because we are one and we love. We are one love. This is your girl GaiYah. GaiYah Speaks Healing. And I'm out. You all have a blessed day. Peace.